Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Steelers Sanctuary podcast. I'm your host, Dave Rivero from SteelersSanctuary.com, and this is my co-host, David Cloro. Dave, how's it going, buddy?
What up? What up?
Kind of a crazy little couple of days since the game. A lot of news coming out of Pittsburgh this week. A lot of crazy stuff. Let's start with Ron Cook. Well, let's start with Jerry Dulac. Jerry Dulac was the first one. He reported that there was a fight between Diontae Johnson and Mitch Trubisky, which led to Mitch Trubisky getting benched, which to me doesn't makes absolutely no fucking sense. I mean, these Pittsburgh beat writers, man, they're scrounging for stuff, right? This is crazy.
Bro, now just imagine you're the quarterback and Tomlin would turn on you like that. Come on. Like that, he would never pick a side.
No.
He would never go, oh, you shouldn't have said that. You're done. Like, come on. Do you imagine Tomlin doing that? I don't.
No way. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know where like I'm not from the Pittsburgh area, obviously, and I don't know Jerry Dulac that well, but some of the shit lately he's come up with, he's just off, man.
And I don't Jerry Dulac, I don't know. Like, he's a well-respected reporter, but there's a lot of people don't like him too because of this reason. Like, this is the shit that he comes up with, and you know, everybody's just like, they call bullshit because he's come up with other stuff that he said that has been called bullshit.
What did we call him out? We called him out for something earlier in the podcast.
I know.
I can't remember what the hell it was.
But I mean, it's not just this year. It's been years. Like,
no,
I know you're wrong. There's probably sometimes where he's been right. I just don't remember. And but just there's been a lot of stuff that dude comes up with, and you're just like, what? Like, no. Like, come on, man. Just stop. I'm trying to remember what the hell it was.
Yeah, I can't. Was somebody going to be traded? Was it Rudolph?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was something. I don't know. But per usual with him, it's something. It's just like, what? Just stop.
Yeah. I think it was Rudolph was going to be the primary backup, the number 2 quarterback. Was that it? Something weird.
No, I don't know. I don't remember. But no, dude, just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Tomlin would never go down that road. You don't pick sides. You
Absolutely
can't pick sides. So he wouldn't be like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. That's unbecoming of a captain on the team.
That was a separate report from Ron Cook because he doubled down today. This is today, I believe.
I don't buy it. I'm sorry.
I don't buy this either.
No.
His exact quote was Trubisky exhibited actions unbecoming a captain, and that's why Mike Tomlin took a starting job away.
I bet you it was as simple as, hey, man, you need to throw me the ball more. Bro, I threw you a couple and you've dropped them. Like, and it probably was that. There's a little argument. They probably said, all right, that's enough. Stop. And that's it.
And even if it was a heated conversation, I mean, Diontae Johnson's not Jerry Rice. He's not a Hall of Fame wide receiver who's got all the clout in the locker room.
He's not a number 1 wide receiver the way he's
exactly. Playing. So Tomlin's not going to take his side over anybody. Give me a break.
No.
What are these guys? I don't know, man. These Pittsburgh media guys. There's something else.
There's only one guy that he would take the side of over everybody else, and he's retired now.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. And he did on multiple occasions.
Yep, exactly.
All right, since we're on the horseshit stuff, how about these death threats for Kevin Dotson, man? What is wrong with people?
No idea.
I mean, we trash Dotson as much as anybody on this podcast.
Right.
But you don't need to be sending death threats. You're a moron if you're doing that.
To take the time, just imagine, to take the time to message this guy like, I'm going to kill you if you do. Come on, man. We better than this. Like, how do you call yourself a Steelers fan? You're sending a Steelers player death threats. Just stop. Grow up.
Yeah, it's crazy. Come on,
stop.
Let's go. This is
this, but see, this is what social media has done.
Yeah,
it's empowered people to think they can go and just say whatever the fuck they want, and there's no repercussions for it. So this is what you have. You have morons. Dude, I dealt with some Browns fan the other day, some douchebag Browns fan. Out of nowhere, just started running his mouth at me on Twitter. And like, he was idiotic. And I was just like, dude. So I turned it on him and started using his words. And then he just stopped talking to me. It was just like, just stupid. It was over William Jackson III. And if the Steelers might go get him. I don't know if you remember, I posted about that.
Yep.
And he just got on there and was just like, yeah, bud, he doesn't want to go to no horrible organization. It's a shitty organization like the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then I went to his page. I went, this moron's a Browns fan.
Yeah, I was about to say that this isn't exclusive to Pittsburgh fans. This happens all over the league. Probably more in Cleveland than anywhere else, but
Yes.
they have more of their share of jerks than anywhere else. But
He brought
it
up
does
their
happen everywhere.
eight. He brought up their 8 pre-Super Bowl era championships.
Oh, they love to do that. They love to do that. The 1935 NFL championship. Get the fuck out of here with that, please.
I couldn't believe it. I was like,
come on.
I was like, all right, bud. Sure.
Stop it. I love when the Browns fans go there. It's like, yeah. How about stick within the last half decade? It's ridiculous. Some news, Jeremy Fowler reported today. He actually is a decent reporter and does have contacts. Chase Claypool on the trade block. That's what he's saying. Has been all season. I don't know how I feel about this.
I don't buy that he's on the trade block. I buy they're contacting the Steelers about him.
Yes.
That's what I believe. I don't believe he's on the trade block. I think they're just in general contacting the Steelers, checking in on his, like, are you interested? That's what I think's happening. I mean, we're getting close to the deadline, so teams that are desperate for wide receiver, and it's perfect timing. Look what he just did for them.
I know.
I mean, and I'll tell you what, man, like, I don't know I got mixed feelings on this. It's like,
I tweeted that today. I had the same thing. I don't know what to think with him.
You see what the kid can do.
The potential. Yep.
And you're like, man, like, like he went off in that game and essentially won it for them with the way he played that last quarter. Right. And like,
no, they wouldn't have won the game without him.
But you're right. But then, like, you think to yourself, we haven't seen him play like that since his rookie year. Right? I don't remember him really doing that much.
No, last 2 years he's been bad.
And leading into this game, he wasn't doing much.
No,
right?
we were all over him. Everyone in Steeler Nation was all over him.
So, and it's just strange, like, because I equate this to Trubisky as well, because, like, there's people clamoring for him to start. And it's like, look, man, this is one of those trap things where, like, you see Claypool do this and you see Trubisky do that. And you're like, oh my God, we got to go back to Trubisky. Oh my God, Claypool's found it, because we were talking that shit. We were talking that same lingo on fucking Sunday. Yeah. We were like, oh my God, maybe he turned a corner, but we were just excited. Now that we've got a chance to calm down, it's like, okay, let's pump the brakes a little bit here. It might have been just a fluke. And this is not me trying to be mean or an asshole or, I'm just saying everybody needs to calm fuck down. It was a game that was strange from the get-go.
Oh my God.
And we somehow pulled this off. They stepped up. They should be proud. I'm proud of them. They were awesome. Kudos to them. But they haven't been consistent with a fucking thing.
No.
Trubisky has not been consistent with anything the whole season. And Claypool hasn't been consistent since his rookie year. So how are we going to take this one game and be like, oh my God, we can get a third for Chase. And Trubisky might have turned things around too. He now knows that, this is your life. He's going to now be able to go out there and he's not going to have no fear and all this other bullshit. Bro, we watched him for 4 games suck ass.
Yeah, it's 2 separate things for me. Chase Claypool has the ability to be that good. I don't think there's any question. He's got the physical gifts to be that good. He just needs to put it together. I don't know if it's a confidence thing. I don't know if it's a attention to detail thing. I don't think anybody knows what it is with Chase Claypool because the talent's there. Mitch Trubisky, on the other hand, I mean, we were all got excited, and I have to admit, there's a little part of me that YOLO Mitch Trubisky is kind of interesting because
right. I mean,
but
I get
Tomlin
it.
Put it to bed today. Tomlin put it to bed today,
and I'm glad he did.
Yeah, it's one of the better things of his press conferences. He's not even going to deal with that horse shit. If Kenny's healthy, if he's cleared of protocol, he's going to play. He's going to take all the snaps in practice tomorrow. So at least we can put that to bed. Like I said, I'm a little interested in a Mitch Trubisky who's not so tentative and is going to sling it and let it go. But
I'm worried it's only because he didn't have time to think. He didn't have time to think. It was, hey man, you're going in. You're it. Go.
Yeah. Yep.
So he didn't have time. But you give him a whole week to think about the fucking shit, and now he doesn't want to lose, whatever.
Paralysis by analysis, right? He's
just think about how many times he threw down the middle to Chase for the first down, minus the one on the sideline.
Yeah.
It was just like, bro, Where the fuck was that at?
And a couple of those passes were, after watching them on the All-22s, a little bit lucky. That touchdown pass, that could have been picked real easy. I mean, I don't want to take – yeah,
the timing was perfect.
Yeah.
If it's any other late, it's picked.
It's picked. So, yeah, maybe we should definitely pump the brakes. But as far as Chase Claypool, man, he played his whole rookie season like this. He can do this.
Yep.
He's just got to be consistent. And I don't know. What would it take to get Chase Claypool off your hands if you were the Steelers general manager? A third? A second? Would you hold out for a second? I don't think they'll get a second, but
I think a second would do it.
If they offered a second, I'd be like, I have to take this.
Because here's the thing, the Steelers have so many needs, but to actually have a good shot at landing a game changer, or a guy that that's going to really really help this team down the road, I would want a first or second rounder. In my head, I'm thinking. I'm not saying he's worth a first rounder. Don't get me wrong. No. I'm saying in general. Yeah. I think we're talking, if I'm going to let this guy go, when I know the potential he has, I'm going to want a second rounder.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think a third,
I think I'm holding.
You get a third. I mean, just think about some of our third round draft picks lately.
Believe me. Kendrick Green, anybody?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, So I think if you want to help this team, if you're going to give him up, I give him up for a second. I tell him a second, and that's the standard. If you can't meet a second round pick, then hey, not interested.
The Steelers aren't moving anybody either, unless the only way I can see them moving somebody out is if they lose these next two games, like we've talked about in the past, and they're 2 and what would that be, 2-6? Then maybe they'll start listening to flyers on certain players. But if they're, like we talked about a million times, if they're 3-5 going to the bye, they're not trading anybody away. They're going to bring somebody in.
Nope. Tomlin will see that 500 record within striking 100%. Distance, and they will go all out. And I told you, I will not be surprised if they add somebody. I will not be surprised.
And like we talked about, that kid in Washington, the cornerback, they liked him in the draft. Do not.
That was the guy. William Jackson III was the guy. And
granted, he struggled the last couple of years. Maybe he's calling it the scheme in Washington. He doesn't like the scheme.
And that was why I said that they might go after him. And people, that's stupid. He sucks. And it's like, yeah, he's not playing well. But when he is, we don't know if he's not healthy or not. We don't know what's going on with him. What if he just hates it there and doesn't? I mean, you don't know.
He's a better cornerback than Levi Wallace. Let's stop it. If somebody's saying different, he's not. He's better than Levi Wallace.
The key word is it's an upgrade. Yes. The key word is upgrade. It's an upgrade, period. And
we don't know what's going on with Ahkello Witherspoon. Those hamstring things can be pretty tricky at times. He can come back for a game and be out the rest of the season.
Well, at least with him, he's actually been out 3 games or whatever, 2 or 3. It'll be 3 weeks that he's been out. So hopefully it's healed. But yeah, no, man, I would say a second to give up Chase would do it.
I agree. He also mentioned Mason Rudolph is on the block a little bit too, Jeremy Fowler. That wouldn't shock me. At this point, they know they got 2 decent quarterbacks. Mason hasn't even sniffed the field or a hat. I mean, I could see that happening. And by the
way, with Chase, I know that's a high asking price, by the way. Like, people are going to be like, my God, a second round. I know it's a high asking price, but I think that's what you do if you're Con to see if anybody bites. Yeah. I would have the high asking price because you really don't want to let him go because of that potential. But if somebody meets that high asking price, then it's worth it. That's the only reason why I'm saying second. I'm not saying I really think he's worth that for people who are like, wow, this guy's a fucking idiot. No, I am saying I think that's how they should set the value for him is higher to see if anybody bites. Am I saying anybody will? No. You never know.
Never know.
Look, we got Antonio Brown off this team for 3rd and 5th after all the shit he fucking did. Yeah. Incredible.
They traded Martavis Bryant, who had a laundry list of issues, like a mile long. They got a 3rd for him. People like talent. They don't give a shit about anything else. They see talent, and there's always one. I've written 1,000 times on my blog. There's always one owner who'll do it. There's always one owner or general manager who'll say, I'm one guy away. Give me him. Whatever you want, I'll give me him. It happens every year. All right, let's flip over to the Mike Tomlin press conference. Injuries for us. So some new things. Steven Sims, hamstring. James Daniels, ankle. Miles Jack ankle. We saw that. He was kind of limping around a little bit. Larry Ogunjobi knee, and Mason Cole has been dealing with his foot ankle for a while. Tomlin seems to think they'll all be ready to play. He also thinks Levi Wallace and Pat Fryermuth will finally clear protocol and they'll play. You could have a relatively healthy Steelers team. He didn't mention TJ Watt at all. And he didn't mention – he was asked about Calvin Austin, and he said, he practiced a little bit better, but we'll have to wait and see.
I told you what I tell you, the reset.
The reset is real.
The reset is real. But here's the thing. Here's the only thing that hurts my reset, and I didn't get a chance to tell you this Sunday. I think I forgot to tell you. I forget which reporter it was that said it. Monday. That'd be what, yesterday? TJ Watt was limping through the locker room.
Really?
He had a slight limp. Yeah.
Still not 100% from that knee scope.
Nope.
Probably. So, yeah.
So,
yeah, I hate to say it. It's going to be after the bye for TJ.
Yeah, I think they're going to wait till the bye. They're just not saying anything. This really sucks because, like, I was really hoping that we would have all them back for this Dolphins game because I really think now this Dolphins game's winnable, but they might have – I'm trying not to get my hopes up here.
It's definitely winnable. You're talking about a quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa there that hasn't played in 2-3 weeks, and he had
this will be 3, I think.
Nasty concussions. So
yeah,
he's not going to be 100%.
Right. Waddle's hurt. I don't think he's going to play. I thought they said a week or 2 at least.
Oh, I didn't know that.
With his AC joint. I could be wrong. His coach said he thinks 1 to 2 weeks. So that can maybe he does play. I don't know. That's so really, if they can dial in on Tyreek Hill and, my God, if Tomlin and them can make a master plan on defense like they did to stop Brady, I would like to think they could do something to stop Tua. Like, good Lord. But I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
and then,
did you see how we started off the press conference by saying, do you want me to answer any questions about
Ryan Clark?
Ryan Clark before we start?
Yeah.
He's been testy the last couple of –
He is.
This shit's getting to him. This losing's getting to him. He's feisty.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah. He's – a couple people asked him questions. He's like, I'm not answering that. Like when they asked him about the fight, he's like, I knew what I tell you, no. So I kind of like it.
Yeah, he's been getting pretty nasty lately.
Yeah,
like he's
definitely has.
Not liking this losing all the time, and it compounds, man. Like, you're just. I wouldn't want his job. I'll tell you that much.
No. Because he's getting well compensated, but still, it's a lot of pressure.
Because when you're still Pittsburgh Steelers, you're not allowed to have losing seasons. You're not allowed to suck. Like it's just something that us fans don't accept very well. Nope. And then the media is just, like sharks in the fucking water. Yeah. So, good luck to him. That's all I gotta say.
Anything else from the Tomlin press conference? It wasn't really anything you.
No, I thought that was. I mean, like you said, he made it very clear that Kenny will start if he's healthy and cleared. So, and that's fine with me. Like, honestly, I'm not on the Mitch train here.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Pickett was beating Brady when he got hurt. Right?
Yep.
He was beating Brady and got credited with the win. Right?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean,
what more could you? I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that he didn't finish the game, but Kenny Pickett was beating Tom Brady and putting up more points.
Oh, yeah?
Period. So there's that. I'm riding with Kenny until he struggles.
Yep.
I'm riding with Kenny.
You have to. At this point, just at the very worst, you're playing for next year anyway. You got to find out if Kenny Pickett's the guy. You have to find out.
Yes, because if he sucks,
then you need to move.
A lot of the Pittsburgh media is now going, well, yeah, if he sucks, and then they can just pick another quarterback. No shit. I said that a fucking week ago.
Yeah. This is the point. You have to leave him in just because of that reason.
Yeah, like let it roll, see what happens. He sucks. You get a top 5 pick. You got a shot at a great quarterback from a great class. That's what I would do. And you got to nail it.
Well, and they don't win, you go get a tackle or like we talked about, a corner.
Start protecting him, start building around him, protect him for God's sakes.
Yes. All right. One thing Tomlin did mention that kind of transitioned to what I want to talk about. He mentioned they used like late defensive shifts on the line, and that confused the Patriots. I watched the All-22 today, and that definitely did They jumped a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that was a good strategy, man. You gotta give Tomlin credit because I bash him a lot for his defensive game plans. That was pretty good. He had a lot of different little things. They didn't blitz once all game. They didn't bring more than 4 people at all the entire game. That was
entire game.
You got to give credit to Cam Hayward and Larry Ogunjobi. Dude, on all 22, they were just mowing that poor rookie center. Yep. That poor rookie center's having nightmares about those two.
Didn't know what hit him, man.
Excellent.
When you're not rushing 5 and you're still getting pressure on the quarterback like they were.
On Tom Brady, who gets rid of the ball so fast, too.
And see, what I loved was Ogunjobi was timing those hits on Brady perfect to not get a penalty.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to do. You start hitting Brady, dude, it's over. Like, he does not like to get hit. He gets scared, starts seeing ghosts.
We talked about it.
They started doing it. They started hitting him. It wasn't even a sack, just started hitting him. And it started snowballing for them. And he was horrible. Brady sucked. He was not good. His throws were horrible.
You'd like to be a fly on the wall in like a Buccaneers podcast right now because they must be livid. I mean, God forbid if Ben Roethlisberger went to a wedding on Wednesday and didn't go through the walkthrough on Friday, he would be roasted by me and everybody else in the media.
Did you hear what he said on his podcast?
Ben, yeah, I did.
Like it said it looked like Tom didn't want to be there. Like he looked disinterested. I was like, man, whoo.
Get ready. There's going to be a lot of those missiles thrown by Ben. And
then my dude has the audacity to start yelling at his offensive lineman. Yeah, Fuck you, dude. Right. Fuck you.
And they all sat there and took it, man. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Bro.
I do not get it.
No.
So another thing Tomlin said I thought was interesting. He said they simplified the defense a little bit. Obviously, they had 3 new starters in the secondary.
Right.
So here's my question. How about we leave the simplified defense for the starters too? It was clear. If you watch the replay of the game, everyone seemed to know where they belonged. Everyone hit their gaps in the run defense.
They were so in sync.
Right? Like it's time to simplify this defense and stop being so complex. You got a lot of talented players on this defense. Let them play.
Because for them to be that in sync, and that was their first time, all those guys playing together like that.
Yeah.
Like, my God, what have we been doing? Like, how complicated have they made it?
Obviously too complicated. Even the linebackers, you watch the linebackers, they would shift the right way and get in their gaps and blow up run plays. Was like, this is the way defense is supposed to be played.
Yes.
Yeah, they give up some passes, but overall it was like
the difference was so noticeable. It was strange. Crazy. It was almost like they made stars out of Devin Bush. Like,
Devin Bush and Terrell Edmonds not thinking, just playing.
Yeah. Like,
lead the defense like this, please.
Dude, Josh Jackson held Mike Evans only like, 35 yards or 45 yards receiving? I mean, what in the hell? Like, whatever they did, they need to stick with it.
Yeah, there's something to be said for not thinking too much on the football field and just playing, just reacting. And that's what they did on Sunday, and that's what they need to continue to do. You're going to add Minkah Fitzpatrick and at some point TJ Watt. And if the rest of the guys behind them are playing like this, you've got something.
Yes.
If they're not thinking, so what if you're playing a little safe and you're playing a little zone? If you get TJ Watt rushing, it doesn't matter. He's going to get his sacks.
Right.
Give up a little bit of yards. Don't give up those bombs that freaking Josh Allen was killing.
And it's going to free up sack leader in the league, Highsmith, because they're going to be so focused on fucking Watt. So now you're going to get that pressure from both ways now. Yeah, I agree. Simplify it. Just keep it the way you have it now. If you're simplifying it to where these guys can communicate and understand and beat Tom fucking Brady, like, I think I did.
Yep. If that's the Terrell Edmonds you're going to get, and if that's the Devin Bush you're going to get, fucking simplify the defense. Let them just read and react and play. Never mind all this complicated crap that's costing them. It's got to be the solution, right? Because they don't just turn into great players like that. You dumb down the defense. You kept
I think a lot of it, the problem is it's not Minkah Fitzpatrick. It's what they're doing with him. They want him to be up on the line. They want him to play back. They want him. It's like there's so much shit they got him doing. I think it confuses all the defensive backs.
Everyone else is, like we talked about, deferring to them because the whole game plan, it's so complex and that. Let the players play, Mike Tomlin, and you'll have a great defense. All right,
you know what?
Got it.
Real quick, and it just clicks. What if they're saving Watt, Kazi, and those guys for the Eagles game?
It's possible. It's fun. I just one thing about that and your other theory. Mike Tomlin is such a fucking competitor, dude. I don't know if TJ Watt can get out there, he's gonna roll him out there because he hates to lose.
Right,
He
but I'm just
really
saying that
does.
Philly game is if we beat the
Well,
Dolphins, this Philly game's a big fucking
yeah,
game.
it's a huge game.
So I'm just saying, like, it could be that. It might not be the bye. It might be, hey, if you're ready to go for Philly, let's fucking go.
It wouldn't
They
shock
get
me that he plays in
if
the
they
Philly
get
game.
him and Kazi back, woohoo,
Yeah, it'd be nice.
get your popcorn ready.
You already got Minka. You'll have Minka back by then. Yeah, that'll be something.
As long as nobody gets injured from the Dolphins game or re-injured or whatever.
Every game is something, right?
Yep, it is. They haven't gotten clean out of a game
No.
ever this year.
You brought up Alex Highsmith, and I saw an interesting debate on Twitter about him. He leads the league in sacks, 6.5. And there was a debate on how good is he an all-pro? Is he not an all-pro this year? Man, there are times and stretches where you wouldn't be able to tell me Alex Highsmith was on the field.
Yes, I know.
Disappears.
Last week, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I looked back at his stats. He's got about a sack a game, except I don't think he got a sack last week. But it's like this, like half the game, I even tweeted at one point in this game, was like, put Alex Highsmith on a milk carton. I haven't seen him. He's missing. And then all of a sudden he had a big strip sack.
Well, and you also, if it's not sacks, you need to take into account QB pressures. I'm curious how many QB pressures, QB hits.
You don't
like
hear
stuff
his name
like
much
that.
For big stretches in these
I'm
games.
just saying I don't know if he had the pressures, but just didn't have the sacks. So you'd have to look that up too, because I saw before this game he was leading the team with 18 pressures, and next guy, the closest, was like 6 or something like that. It was a large.
Once TJ went down, no one else has done anything.
Right.
So,
it was a huge difference. So he's definitely getting the pressures. So if he's not getting the sacks, then maybe the pressures are up there. I don't know if I'm ready to say he's all pro or something like that. I don't think I'm there quite yet. I'm again, pump the brakes a little bit. I'm not ready to.
He's kind of a liability in the run game too. You look at the tackle totals every week. He's down the bottom. He's not making a lot of tackles. He's a smaller guy. I mean, that defense, they want you to play as a defensive end, both their outside line, and they're not really defensive ends. They're outside linebackers.
He was a third round pick too, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. That was a very good third round pick.
Yeah, for third rounder. Yeah, absolutely.
He's a little smallish to be playing on man. He can get washed a lot, but obviously he's a very good pass rusher.
But in reality, though, he's doing fine. As the number 2 guy, he's doing just fine.
Yeah, but he's a number 2 guy. He's not a number one.
I'm not ready to crown him number 1 guy. No, I'm not ready to crown him, pro, all pro, none of that shit. Not yet. But hey, look, he's off to a great start. He had 8 sacks last year. He's already at 6.5.
6.5. Yeah, he's probably he was on a pace.
Dude. My dude gets double-digit sacks. That's a hell of a fucking year.
I mean, he's gone unless he gets hurt. I mean, that's almost a guaranteed.
So if he hits that, then dude, he's gonna be looking to get a big payday. He keeps it up.
Oh yeah, next year, right? Or one more year.
Yeah, this will be his third, so it'd be next year.
Yeah, next year they're gonna have to pay him.
Yeah. Yes, that's getting interesting.
Yeah, maybe they'll just give him the Bud Dupree treatment and draft somebody in the first or second round to replace him. Say, hey, it was nice knowing you.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. I wouldn't doubt it.
All right, let's talk about this offense a little bit, dude. It's still an issue. It's still bad. I looked up some of if you take away the defensive touchdown that the Steelers scored, they're averaging 15 points a game after 6 games. I mean, that is horrendous, dude. It's about as bad as it gets.
Yeah, it is.
They're 30th in the league in points scored.
I was about to ask, aren't they 3rd in the league? Yeah.
30th. And that's counting the defensive touchdown. So it's bad. They're 26th in rushing yards, 23rd in passing yards. It's a little better, but they're not scoring touchdowns, and that's the big problem. I think they were tied for third from the bottom in touchdowns scored for this season. What do we do with Matt Canada? How much longer do they stay with this guy?
They're going to stay at the
bye, right?
I would like to think so, but I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. Speaking of which, I don't think we covered this. Did you see the thing where Boswell might have yelled?
I knew there was something I was forgetting on the Steelers news from this week.
Yeah. Like I don't. There's no way. Could he really go? Yeah, it's not because of you. That's for sure. Would you really say that to the offensive coordinator in front of everybody with people standing around? Like, oh my God, that has to be. That's not what he said. Like,
well, it is what he said. It's who did he say it to? Because that's what he said. Conspiracy Dave tells me, man. I mean, who else in that frame of people going by? Who else could he possibly be talking to? It's a couple of backup players. I think it was the wide receivers coach, and it was Matt Canada. Who's he talking to?
No way. I'm hoping another player, maybe one of the backups didn't play at all or something.
I hope he is talking to Canada. It's the truth. It's the truth.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, the offense has put him in some bad situations where he's had to kick 50-yard, 55-yard field goals in the wind and this and that. And they're leaning on him a lot. Maybe he's fed up with it.
Actually, maybe that's why he's saying it, because he had to kick so many field goals or something. Maybe I just, my God, do you really get away with talking to me?
And it could have been, maybe they all horse around with Canada.
And it could be.
Give him a hard time, and that's just, what they do.
Or he's being sarcastic in general.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I just, my God, man.
When I saw the tweet and I'm like, nah, I didn't even watch it. Then I saw somebody else tweet it. I'm like, well, let me watch it and listen to this. I'm like,
yeah,
holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I don't know. So it's the wheels had to feel like they're falling off. There's a lot of news coming out of Pittsburgh, and none of it's good after a win. After a fucking win.
I know. But isn't that so strange? These guys waited to leak. But why wait to leak that whole thing with Trubisky? And why wait till after a win? To me, that's just wrong. Why would you do that?
They were probably sitting on it if he ever got back in, they could throw it out there.
And that's fun. But see, that's what I don't like about the media. Like, that's fucking horseshit, dude.
You got to maximize your clicks, bro. That's what it is. You got to maximize your clicks.
I can't stand that shit. Yeah, you finally get a win, and someone's got to just absolutely fucking shit on it, basically, with their fucking bullshit. I can't stand that shit, man. Like, seriously.
It was both of them, too. It was Dulac and Cook. Those are the two big boys, right?
Yeah, Cook. Yeah, Cook fucking said it.
About the captain thing, and
I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't believe it.
I'm not really buying it. Anyway.
Especially when you wait a week and a half, 2 weeks to say it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you're sitting on it, like I said.
Sorry, not buying it.
All right. I think we've pretty much covered it. The Dolphins next week, you want to touch on that a little bit? We talked about their receivers. If they're healthy, they're freaking scary.
Yeah, dude, if Waddle does play and he's good to go, they're in trouble.
That's the one thing about Tampa's offense. They don't really have a burner. I mean, Goodwin's pretty fast. Evans pretty fast, but they're not burners.
Not Tyreek Hill fast. Yeah, no.
So this is really a test for this defense.
So
if either one of them plays.
So, yeah, if Waddle don't play, then I think they legit have a chance, because then they can zero in on Tyreek Hill. And I'm not saying they're going to stop him. They can try to just minimize some of the things he does.
Yeah.
But Tua will be the key to everything. Right? Yeah, the key to everything. Yeah. Like if he's the Tua that was slinging the ball and looked, like they were on the cusp of being a breakout offense, then yeah. If he's the Tua that is still kind of not right, and it's been like 3 or 4 games, and he's a little, I don't know if I want to say rusty. I don't know if that'd be the word, or he's just off.
Yeah, you could say rusty, yeah, because he's missed 3 games.
Then we've got a legit shot to win this fucking game. But it's in Miami. It's a primetime game. It ain't going to be easy.
Well, they catch a break on the primetime stuff, right? Because it won't be as hot. See some of these teams, I guess the Miami side of the field is always on shade, and the visitor side is always in the sun. It was like a 40-degree difference between the Viking side of the field.
A 40-degree difference.
It was like 120 over there, and it was only like 80 with the Dolphins, or something crazy like that.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
They play those games. You remember the Bills games? Half those guys couldn't fit. They were taking people off that.
Well, I remember sometimes the Steelers, they play like down there. You have guys. I remember the Lawrence Timmons, the famous Lawrence Timmons, him throwing up out there and shit, struggling.
Yeah, it's tough, especially because you get away your dark uniforms, because they're going to want to wear their white uniforms all the time in the sun. Yep. So you get those dark ass uniforms, and you're playing in the heat, and your sideline's always in sun. It's a little interesting game that they play where they leave those poor teams out to roast. So they catch a break because it's a night game, so they won't have to deal with that. Is basically my point on that. And Steelers are usually pretty good at primetime, man. They usually play well. Tomlin loves the primetime games. He gets them up for it.
So, yeah, he does. So I'm I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about this game. A lot better than I felt 2 weeks ago. Damn.
Even
So
this past week, I was like,
oh
I couldn't
yeah,
remember a game where I thought I had no hope as much as I did in that game.
Right.
And pulled it out.
when they stopped Brady on that first series, that's when I was like, all right, like we actually stopped them. Oh, okay, maybe
And
there's
then they marched down and scored a touchdown. That was different.
yeah. When that all happened, I was like, this game's going to be different, man. The vibe's just completely different. This doesn't feel like a Buffalo game where we're just going to get our fucking brain stomped in. Like this has got that vibe. Like this is going to be close. This is going to be different. We have a chance, and we ended up winning. So we'll see how this goes. I think they can actually win this game. I think they can win this game. They're catching them at the right time with Tua just coming back. Their defense has actually not been that good lately.
No, the defense isn't good.
The defense has not been doing good. So I'm hoping that and Flores, he's going to be the X factor in this too.
Yeah, he knows those guys down there.
He's gotta know, like he's gotta help them scheme to be able to know what to do. Especially on defense against Tua. He's gotta know. So like they have a lot of
that, but
I saw that, but I don't buy it. I don't buy that from him.
Either.
Bullshit.
No,
bullshit.
He's just trying to downplay it.
If that's the case, then why do teams always sign players that just got dropped by other teams they're facing?
Yeah,
it's to get that intel. They want that intel. They want to know things. I don't buy it.
Nobody knows Tua better than Flores. He was with him the whole time.
No, he built that team.
Yeah, so,
but no, that's all I got for now, man. I can't wait.
Yeah. We're going to try to come back on Saturday, right? For our
it's going to have to be Saturday.
Our NFL picks. Yeah, we'll do it Saturday. We'll have it for you Saturday night, early Sunday morning. All right, but until then, you can find me at Twitter at SteelersSanct16. You can find us on YouTube at Steelers Sanctuary. You can email the show at daver@SteelersSanctuary.com. Dave, give me a Twitter. And
it's going to be M_Corb.
All right. Until Saturday, we'll talk to you later.